In this video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at creating a basic property transaction. No bells or whistles or anything like that. I just want to show how quickly you can jump in and actually start working a transaction. But what we're going to do next is actually look at the templates that we're going to, and we'll do a video for each of those just so we can see how that's all going to come together, how you set those up. But this is just quickly, you got an account. I need to start working a property immediately. What can I do? So the very first thing you do is simply go to add property. Or you can do it from either side here. You have the add button at the top. You can add new properties a couple different ways. Add new contacts as well. Or just right here from the dashboard or from the property section. And you'll have some different options. For now, let's go ahead and just focus on the new properties. So I'm going to go ahead and click this button here. It's going to open up a new screen so I can start filling out some information. The contract tile is basically just going to be your address, whatever that's going to be. So let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we got here? Let's do Moss Lane. And you'll have to choose a team, and you should have set this up during the onboarding phase. You'll always have to assign a transaction to a team and have some sort of team lead for that. So every team will have to have at least one user. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just select my first one here, my transaction team. And I'm going to go ahead and pick Peter. He's going to lead this transaction. You'll see some of the required information that has already been plugged in. And you do have an option to apply a property template. If you don't have one set up yet, you won't even see this. In this case, we're going to skip that. We don't want any bells and whistles yet. Let's go ahead to the next screen. And this is going to show you all the different fields that you have in the system, along with some different settings that you can go over. So if I need to fill in some property details, I can do it here initially. Once I create the property, I can still update those and remove the information from there. This is just the initial setup, so don't worry too much about getting something wrong here. You got your transaction details, referral details, etc. And so this will be my details grouping, some different sections. I'll have some different dates I can plug in, transaction dates, listing dates, whatever applies. Once we get to the templates, you'll see we can play with this a bit just to show the fields that we are wanting to see and needing for this transaction. What I do want to take a quicker look at is the settings. If you click here, we'll have that team. We already did that part, so that's already filled in. If you had a property template applied, you'd see which templates were being applied during this process. Again, we'll revisit this later. You can add some contacts. Once again, once you create the property, you can add contacts from that point. So this is just if you happen to initially know which contacts you want to add into this transaction, you can do so here. And then the last one is your defaults. I like to set these up, but that's personal preference, and everybody kind of likes to see something different. So I'll say I want to see my details first, and then your communication tab, which we'll see in a second, is your tasks, your emails, documents. Let's say I want to see my tasks first, whatever I need to do for this transaction. Go ahead and click Create Property. It's going to open up your defaults so you can review everything. This is all the default settings for this transaction. The date calculations, default emails, signatures, all that good stuff. Go and close that out, and you'll see I now have a new property transaction. I can go ahead, jump right in, and start working this, filling in these different fields. I can manually add some tasks, all kinds of good stuff. So we will focus on managing a property in the next video series. But for now, we're going to focus on just these basic pieces that we can put together and just quickly keep jumping into creating new properties.